It's in God's hands now, right? Everything that could be said has been said. It's in his hands and ours, of course. We're going to go out there and vote, people who haven't early voted. And we're going to do our best, aren't we? But it is in his hands. He knows everything. And he knows what's on my mind. I got to be honest, for basically nearly every election of my lifetime, I didn't care all that much. Nearly every election. 2020, I cared a lot. 2016, yeah, I was, but I wasn't passionate about it. I really wasn't. Now it's totally different. It is totally and completely different. Back then, it was just me, single guy running around the country, running around the city, whatever, right? But something has happened over, well, the last 4 years. May I show you? These two little girls. My wife is not in the picture. She's taking the picture. 2-year-old and 4-year-old. 2-year-old Madeline, 4-year-old Annalise. And everything is different. Everything. And this country, I want them to live here. I want them to grow up in a civil and just society. I want them to be able to buy a home. I want them to go through life and not be judged on the color of their skin or anything else other than the content of their character, right? Things like that. And I don't want to have this monstrous trans ideology thrust upon them, right? See, this picture, this encapsulates so much for me. I call this the monster picture. You know, you can dress up on Halloween if you're a kid. But the idea that in some municipalities, like here in New York, this is celebrated in public schools. And if you can complain about it, you just might be accused of a hate crime. That is how bizarre and backwards and everything is now upside down, and Democrats embrace this. Oh yeah, absolutely. They're not messing with the T and the LGBTQ, no, right? This is the way. I have no problem with T as long as it's an adult thing, right? Adult, not children. There's so many things that are happening that make absolutely no sense unless there's something evil afoot, right? Why would we have open borders? Why would we be allowing this stuff? I guess the globalists want cheap labor and the Democrats want the votes. Is that it? I don't know. I mean, we lost a war in Afghanistan. Nobody seemed to really give a damn. It's barely come up during this campaign, save for Donald Trump making it an issue, and it should be an issue. And we have lost civil society. It's gone. Amid this stuff, our government institutions actually try to tell us with a straight face, that crime is going down. They tell us that until they get caught. You know, I understand Make America Great Again. I understand Donald Trump. I don't understand the ideology and the culture that would say this is a peaceful protest. BLM 2020, no, they were horrible riots, billions of dollars worth of damage. See, this is horrific. January 6th doesn't compare. How about the anti-Semitism? There's one party that will not decry it, that will not condemn it, that has to kind of walk a fine line when it comes to anti-Semitism. Are you crazy? The world is crazy. The country has lost its mind. This is one of the many reasons why I'm voting for Donald Trump. My children, I can't have them live in this kind of society. Also, I want to be in a strong country. I was so privileged to join the United States Marine Corps when I was 19 years old. It was the honor of a lifetime. I got to serve in uniform, in allegiance with some of the greatest men and women ever, right? And it was about America. It was about service. It wasn't about this stuff. This is upside down and backwards and wrong. Anybody can be whatever they want, but you don't wave flags other than the American flag on an American military base. Fair enough? I think this is totally fair. This is not crazy. The left is crazy. A jamboree like this on the White House lawn, right? I mean, sometimes I'm just baffled why it's so close, why this election seems to be so close. January 6th, that great fraud perpetrated against the American people. You know, they had hearings where they openly lied to the American people. And what they were saying, it was demonstrably false. And the critical questions about January 6th were never even, I mean, they weren't answered, but they never even asked the questions. Like, who was that little cop waving everybody, step right here to the Capitol? You see this? What was this all about? And that's not the only one. The officers who were just standing there, hello, welcome to the Capitol. Yep, right this way to the rotunda. Yeah, not doing anything to, I don't know, maybe close the door. And what about when Ashley Babbitt was shot? You have 3 officers guarding the hallway, and everything is under control. It's a little bit dicey, but it's under control. And then they said, you know what? Let's get the hell out of here, guys. Yeah, da-dup. And let's let these guys just go nuts. And a few moments later, an unarmed woman, United States Air Force veteran Ashley Babbitt, is shot and killed. And the country just looks the other way. This is insanity, and it must stop, please. And I think it will, thanks to all of us, God, and this man. He changed everything. And I think he's anointed in a special way. Sometimes it seems like he's a prophet. I'll tell you this, at least he has real world experience to his credit, right? I mean, this guy turned this dilapidated hotel, the Commodore in New York City, a 28-year-old Donald Trump manages to turn it into this. A little bit later in his career, he goes to 57th and 5th Avenue. He's able to buy the most kind of prestigious real estate in the world and build his own building on it. You know, this is real world stuff that I respect, and it's okay. You know, Joe Biden, do you think he has anything to show for anything? Of course he doesn't. Oh, and how this man made his debut on the national stage. Before he was even old enough to be president, they were asking Donald Trump, would you ever want to be president? Take a look.
I would dedicate my life to this country, but I see it as being a mean life, and I also see it as somebody with strong views and somebody with the kind of views that are maybe a little bit unpopular, which may be right, but may be unpopular, wouldn't necessarily have a chance of getting elected against somebody with no great brain but a big smile.
No great brain, but a big smile. Sounds like some people we know, does it, right? Just a little bit? Of course it does. This is who he was talking about. This is why sometimes people say it's almost like he's a prophet, right? There's something very, very special going on with President Trump. How about this? That's when he made his debut on national television. I showed you this a few weeks ago. This is when Kamala Harris made her debut on national television.
He's a rogue, all right, notorious for his flamboyant lifestyle. Flashy clothes, fancy parties, fine women.
Are you his daughter? No, I'm not.
Are you his daughter? No, I'm not. I'm his mistress. Yeah, that was her first moment on national television. That's how we first got a glimpse of Kamala Harris, the mistress of Willie Brown. And when her boyfriend, her married boyfriend, becomes mayor, and she's not the district attorney, she's not anything, for some reason she acts like it's her accomplishment.
You should from now on address me as the mayor.
If ever a man and a municipality were made for each other, it is this man.
What is she doing there? Yeah, that's Kamala Harris right next to the mayor, clapping away as if she achieved something. No, you didn't. Your married boyfriend is now the mayor. I guess that meant good things were going to happen for you, Kamala. And they sure did. Got a couple of Mercedes-Benz, I think a BMW, and appointments to this board, that board. Donald Trump, how many votes did he get so far this year alone? 17 million votes. She has 0 votes. Everything is upside down and crazy. And Kamala Harris does not deserve and cannot be trusted with real power. Look at it when she's gloating, when she's talking about the day when she was a district attorney. Look at how taken with herself she is and taken with the power.
I learned that with the swipe of my pen, I could charge someone with the lowest level offense And because of the swipe of my pen, that person could be arrested. They could sit in jail for at least 48 hours. They could lose time from work, and their family maybe lose their job. They'd have to come out of their own pocket to help hire a lawyer. They'd lose standing in their community. All because of the swipe of my pen. Weeks later, I could dismiss the charges, but their life would forever be changed.
Sounds like one of the prosecutors in a January 6th case, huh? Now, by the way, it's not just a swipe of your pen. It's supposed to be due process and evidentiary rules and things like that. But no, I don't think she sees it that way. And neither does the federal government right now under her and Joe Biden. Just ask him. He's the poorest man in town, right?
I was listed for all the years I was a senator as the poorest man in the United States Congress.
I had the dubious distinction of being listed as the poorest man in Congress for 36 years.
I had the great pleasure of being listed as the poorest man in Congress for 36 years.
Beware a man who's bragging about how poor he is, especially if they're in public service, because, well, it's basically a call for a bribe. Venal, I think, is the word. Susceptible to bribery. It is a dog whistle, if you will. Isn't that what the left likes to say? Does that look like the poorest man in Congress? What about Kamala Harris and her financial situation? The middle-class kid is always wearing very expensive jewelry. How much? $62,000. How does she get this stuff? How do they all get it? Wow, huh? And the lies that come from one side. You know, for all the stuff about President Trump, he's always lying. They accuse him of lying all the time, but they actually never catch him in one. These guys, I prove it every night right here on this show. They are always lying.
My son has not made money in terms of this thing about, what are you talking about? China. I have not had, the only guy made money from China is this guy. He's the only one. Nobody else has made money from China.
Right up until Hunter Biden's own lawyer said, yes, he did receive money, but it was good faith seed money for the hard work he had done in China. You know, if you or me, we were around somebody who started lying to us, lying in front of everybody, how would we react? We'd go nuts, right? Stop it. You're lying about me. President Trump is just used to it at this point. He's used to it. And here's Kamala Harris lying. It's so provably false. It has been debunked. And again, on a national stage, Joe Biden at his debate, Kamala Harris at that debate, lying to everybody about Donald Trump. Take a look at Trump's reaction. It's actually pretty cool.
Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
He is totally unreactive because he's heard it a million times. There's nothing to... It's just another moment for him. Did you see her, that thing with the eye, too? When she gets to the deception part, she establishes, there was a riot in Charlottesville, and then she takes it too far. She takes it to the lie. Watch this. She does the thing with your eye. You see, yeah. You see, now I'm going to lie to you. Now I'm going to deceive because I set up something that was partially true, and now I can lie. You know, it does that same thing. What a deceitful, horrible culture we have right now that these people can get away with this stuff. Not around here, of course, but Barack Obama.
Some people might have been alive if we had had a competent administration who was paying attention and trying to do things better instead of talking about injecting bleach into your arm.
Did the same thing with the eye. Same thing. This man has the nerve to call Donald Trump anti-Semite, right? Farrakhan is his best friend, these people. And the media, the fourth estate, right? No, they are totally corrupt. They are, talk about a culture of deception. They are full-on propagandists, deniers of reality. It is absolutely fascinating and a little bit scary. It really is that they will deny reality to everybody. And we'll see what happens. You know, if Trump wins, and I think he will, but I got to admit I'm a little bit nervous. We got to get out there and vote. All of them should be canceled.